As the market has surprisingly held up this week, crypto whales are becoming more optimistic again and been loading up on these three specific altcoins in anticipation of an altcoin rally in the coming weeks. What are these altcoins and why these ones? This is your Altcoin Buzz news. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Also, make sure to join us for our X Spaces, Tuesday to Friday at 9 a.m. EST, link down below. All right, good morning, you guys. Happy Black Friday. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving if you are in America. Bitcoin has also been holding up pretty well this past week, which is a great thing. Today's also my last day here presenting on the Altcoin Buzz channel. It's been amazing last 3 years. I've loved making videos. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the videos. Hopefully you've learned something, but I sure have enjoyed my time here making these videos for you guys. But anyway, let's get into the video. Starting off today, we have a Bitcoin coming into resistance around $91,500. This has looked pretty great so far, but what we could see is a pullback down towards $89,000 and still be forming an uptrend. So if we do get a pullback either today or over the weekend, still totally fine as long as we don't start breaking down below this gray box, below around $88,000. If we start to make higher highs and higher lows here, it looks like we could have a rally potentially going into December, which is kind of what we were talking about yesterday, where we could see a relief rally going in through December, maybe in towards Q1 as well. Doesn't mean that the bottom isn't fully in. We have been selling off so hard for the past few weeks, so a relief rally is to be expected at this point. So I do think it is possible we come back above here around $94,000 over the next couple of days if this rally wants to continue. So starting off today with the first coin that whales are buying now that prices are starting to look a little bit more optimistic, we have Look On Chain sharing a mysterious whale is buying ENA or Athena. The whale withdrew 13.11 million USDC from Binance and Bybit and then deposited $6.6 million into Hyperliquid to buy ENA. So far, he spent $5.1 million to buy 17.76 million ENA at around 28 cents. Same time, we also have Arthur Hayes, infamous Arthur Hayes here, who bought more ENA and EtherFi. Over the past 2 days, he's bought 4.89 million ENA for $1.37 million. He bought $1.13 million worth of Pendle and $543,000 worth of EtherFi. We also have a whale alert, a whale potentially linked to Athena Labs, just bought 25 million ENA from Bybit. The whale currently holds 285.15 million ENA, worth $76.46 million. At the same time, we have Satoshi Club saying ENA generated $4.85 million in fees over the last 24 hours, ranking number 3 on the entire leaderboard. So something is definitely going up over at ENA. We also have the Athena ecosystem sharing that $465 billion plus of USDE transfer volume has gone on since launch. For Q3 2025, $200 billion plus in a single quarter, and active usage across every major DeFi category. Athena is everywhere. Athena's starting to catch a bid here again, and if we go to the high time frames, the daily, we are at like a multi-year level of support. We came down here towards around 23 cents, which has been, this multiple touch point over the past couple of years where we've touched down here a couple of times. So we've gone, if you look at this on the, it's kind of like a higher lows and higher highs though on a multi-year time frame. We came up not as high and not as high and not as high. I imagine it probably will go up, but not as high again this time. I could imagine if we do come up and we have a bounce, we'll probably come up towards around like 55 cents, maybe towards 63 cents again this time, and then make another lower high here and continue back down. I don't think this is going to magically come back up to these highs, but I do think at the very least we could have a relief rally. And ENA is starting to look pretty good here. So if we zoom in here a little bit, we can see this is the level, this is the high before the low that took us down here. So technically we are starting an uptrend right now. We have broken back into an uptrend. And so while it is a technicality, this is the more important level to me, around 33 cents. If we can get back above here, we'll start to make a series of higher highs and higher lows. And so that will look a little bit more bullish for me right up here. But if you did want to get into ENA, this is a pretty decent area because we have been holding above this level around 27 cents. And so it does start to look like a bottom, but it is very possible it could do something like this where we come up here and then we just go back down. So to me, I want to see a series of higher highs and higher lows, which would look something like this where we consolidate here, come back up, and then do something like this. So that's what I want to see for ENA. And what I'd be interested in, bidding a little bit heavier size or longing somewhere around there. But this is also a very plausible area as well because this technically was the high before the low that took us down here. So we are changing market structure on the daily time frame, which is a significant time frame. So ENA looking decent here. I can see why people are starting to bid it. It does seem like we've come to this, multi-year level of support down here around 23 cents. So I can see why people are bidding it. Maybe they're just going to bid towards, some lower high that's somewhere up here around 57-ish cents. So maybe we come up somewhere like this and do some kind of like, topping structure like that and then come back down on ENA. So very possible. This one does always seem to catch a bid, especially with their buybacks. They're great at doing buybacks. So it's very possible that ENA could see a pump in the coming weeks, which is why crypto whales are loading up on it. Bitcoin has been leading the market lower for the last month, and now we enter some choppy territory. And in conditions like this, it's good to have options with your money where you can earn while waiting for the market to confirm its direction. And Nomi Finance presents some good options for the current market conditions, so let's take a look. And they have a great giveaway going on right now as well, so stay tuned for that. Nomi Finance gives a lot of great options on how to make money, including some that don't even involve trading. For example, staking. With staking, as you see here, you're just earning by staking your tokens. And this one works like a bank account. It's fixed and for a fixed period of time to lock in the gains. And that's important because if you change your mind, you're subject to an early withdrawal penalty. But don't worry, if you don't want to lock up your money that way, there's a flexible interest account as well. And as you might expect, the fixed rates pay better, but the choice is yours. And you can see the rates here on their website. And if you like getting early into projects, Nomi offers a launch pool as well. Here, your money is fixed for a term, similar to early investors with vesting schedules. You can see just how many projects have raised on Nomi, with over $200 million raised there. And according to their website, AI and developer tools, such as software infrastructure, are leading their categories. You can invest here with stablecoins, and you can put them to work in the early investing market. Or if you prefer the early stage, but a little farther along in the process, there's Nomi's pre-market, and here the Nomi team curates the best offers of tokens right before the public launch. And more than 13,000 are taking part in the program to again put your money to work without being subject to the whims of market makers. But you also need to join their partner loyalty tier for access to those deals, and if you like early stage investing, it's worth considering. And of course, if you're ready to trade, you can swap assets or even get crypto-backed loans to put your money to work. And these features give you more flexibility. And now for the giveaway I mentioned earlier, you can earn part of a $500,000 prize pool that includes an Audi SQ6, great Apple products, and crypto of course. So give Nomi a try today and get your piece of this prize pool while you put your money to work for you. And then moving on to the second altcoin, we have Coinbureau sharing that Tommy Lee's Bitmine just bought another 14,618 ETH for $44.34 million. Same time, a government-linked wallet just entered Ethereum staking. On-chain data shows a wallet associated with Bhutan's sovereign investment arm moving 320 ETH to Figment, enough to activate 10 Ethereum validators. A sovereign link entity is now participating directly in Ethereum's proof-of-stake system and earning yield on-chain. More governments are watching crypto. Some are starting to plug in quietly. So that's pretty amazing. A sovereign nation now has 10 Ethereum validators that we know of just recently. They might have even more. We also have Merlin the Trader saying Ethereum exchange reserves just broke record lows from 25 million to 16.8 million and still falling. That's a 33% drop in liquid supply. Whales aren't selling ETH. They're draining the markets. Don't miss the signal. So we can see here Ethereum reserves on exchanges, all exchanges, is dropping to the lowest levels as we are holding above this $3,000 level. So as ETH is leaving exchanges, basically it just shows that whales are loading up and they're not selling. We also have President Trump's entire crypto portfolio is 100% Ethereum. This kind of allocation from someone with this level of insider access isn't random. He clearly sees something big coming from ETH. So we see World Liberty Finance, and while it says 100% here, it's not actually 100% because they still have a couple million here, but relatively, I mean, $8.28 billion worth of Ethereum, and then all these other, the second highest coin is Mantle with $6.06 million. So pretty much 100% here in Ethereum, with just a couple miscellaneous coins here. So a huge vote of confidence from the president. At the same time, we also have Europe's largest asset manager, Amundi, launches the first tokenized share for Euro money market fund on Ethereum. And VanEck also doubles down on ETH staking. Look on chain reports that VanEck's ETH ETN has staked another 12,600 ETH, worth $37.9 million today. So a lot of people are staking ETH at these levels. Now, ETH is actually looking really nice here. So if we come up to the higher time frames, like we go to the 3-day, this has been a multi-year level of support here, around 2,800. Between 27 and 2,800 has been support and resistance multiple times, multiple taps here. So we came down here, and actually on the 3-day chart, and really if we go to the weekly probably too, we held this level really nicely. Even though we did wick down here, we've come up here and we've held this level. And so this is a nice area for a bounce if we do want to continue higher. Now, if we look at ETH, this is the level, which was the point of breakdown. So ETH is a little bit lower than ENA is technically in terms of its, market structure. But if we break back above this 31-ish $100, we'll start to go into an uptrend, and that'll start to look really nice for Ethereum. If we can reclaim this over the next couple of days, we'll start to make higher highs and higher lows again. And so we could potentially get a bounce. Maybe it's back. Maybe it's not like to new highs, but maybe it's back up here towards like $37-ish $100. And we have a sell-off maybe after after Christmas or going into the holidays, somewhere around there. That is kind of what I'm expecting for Bitcoin and ETH and all these altcoins, is we kind of just rally into a lower high here, get all the shorts out who've been shorting, since the top, and get all the late longs to FOMO, and then we probably sell off afterwards somewhere at a lower high area for all these altcoins and Bitcoin. So ETH is looking pretty good here. I want to see it reclaim this over the next couple of days around $3,100. And I could see us heading back up towards at least $3,700 in the midterm. But what we don't want to see for ETH is if it just sells off right here and it can't even get above here. If it just sells off and we go back below here, because we're probably going to fall much lower back down to these levels, because once we break through around $2,400, there's really a lot of space here between $2,400 and around $1,800. So that's a big area to drop if we do lose this next level of support down here. So we're really hoping that this area does hold for ETH. And then for our third altcoin that whales are buying, we actually have Aave. So Look On Chain says, as the market dropped, another Aave whale bought another 40,433 Aave for $7.1 million over the past 5 days. The whales bought a total of 292,000 Aave for $54.5 million, an average cost of $170 over the last 3 years, now sitting on $4.6 million in unrealized profits. We also have a Crypto Pulse saying, Aave's got a clean bounce from a reaccumulation zone. Aave showing strength. Prices already jumped another 25% off the reaccumulation zone that we highlighted on November 12th. This is exactly the type of reaction you want to see from a strong weekly support, buyers stepping in, momentum shifting, and volatility expanding upwards. As long as Aave continues to hold above $160, the next target sits around $220, $260, and $300. And we have Wando sharing that Aave generated over $2.47 million of revenue last week, according to Blockworks. So Aave has been doing really well. It's actually looking pretty good here, around $185 right now. So this is the reaccumulation zone that he had marked out here between $163 and around $125. These are the two major levels of support. It's, support resistance over multiple time frames. So this is the real level of support. As long as we hold above here, this is actually looking pretty decent on Aave. We go to the slightly lower time frames here. So kind of like ENA, there was a high before the low here. So technically we are starting to make, a bullish market structure where we've broken back above this level. If we can hold above here and just, reaccumulate around 178, I think we are looking pretty good. But kind of like ENA as well, I think the bigger resistance zone is this around 212 to around 289. If we get back above here, I think we're looking really nice and really strong. But it's going to, that's a pretty big jump between here and there. So if we get back above here, it's going to look really nice. But if we hold above here for a couple days on them, which we kind of already have, if we hold above here for a little bit longer and we don't break back down here below this 175 zone, I think we are looking pretty good, because this is technically now a bullish market structure as we head back up here. So I think the next major resistance is this level around 210 to around 228. And if we can get back above here, we're looking really good for Aave for at least a lower high towards around maybe 260-ish. Maybe we'll come back up to this level here, and then we'll reject and then, sell off there. That's my kind of thesis for a lot of these altcoins. We might come up to make a lower high, but we do still have a, big room to the upside before then. So Aave is looking good as well. It's, it's starting that bullish market structure. What we don't want to see here is we don't want to see us reject from underneath as this level right here, which we're kind of at 188. We don't want to see us reject here and then go back down. We want to see us just kind of hold this level and accumulate. And while Bitcoin is holding up, I do think altcoins are going to continue to go higher. So I think we are in a kind of bullish window for the next couple of weeks going into December. So it's looking good on Aave. And then lastly for today, we have Derb, who hosted a space a couple days ago with Signal Plus, and they had the Voices of Cosmos, episode 3. They're talking about NVIDIA's blowout earnings and Bitcoin slipping under $90,000 and what to do next. You can also check out the spaces here on Derbit's official page. So they were talking about the AI upside versus the bubble fears post NVIDIA, which was everyone was talking about. If NVIDIA missed their earnings, is this a top for crypto and for the stock market as well as crypto decoupling from the NASDAQ and the Mag 7, as well as what Derbit's option flows revealed during the recent sell-offs, which is usually very important for crypto, especially Bitcoin and ETH, which have huge options, especially in TradFi. So that is Derbit's space, and that is the video for today, guys. Bitcoin looking good. It's kind of pushing up here before New York Open, pushing up into this next level of resistance. So we're going to have to watch and see what happens here. Ideally, we just pump through here and we just break through this resistance and then we reaccumulate. Might not happen. What might happen is we kind of just pump up into here and we then reject and then we kind of accumulate underneath it. If we hold underneath it and, just hold like this, it is looking good for a pump back above. And that's what we want to see. What we don't want to see over the next, few hours is we don't want to see us pump up into $92,000 and then reject and come all the way back down underneath $88,000. Anything like this, any kind of bounce here on $88,000 is totally fine. But ideally, we hold around $92,000 and just kind of accumulate under here, and then we break through like that because that's kind of a stronger price action that we want to see on Bitcoin. So that is the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the last 3 years of videos that I've been making here. Hope you guys learned something, maybe made a little bit of money. But until next time, I will see you guys later.